You're listening to the LSG Sports Network, the authority on Texas high school football. Welcome to the Texas High School Football Coaches Show on Lone Star Gridiron. I'm Chris Daly, and it's my belief that the men that make up the fraternity of Texas high school football coaches are much more than a bunch of thick-necked guys with whistles. They do so much more than teach technique and the X's and O's of football. They take young boys and change them into young men of character. They get kids to believe in themselves, to trust others, and to put others ahead of themselves. Texas high school football coaches are unique in how they impact the lives of these athletes as well as the generations those kids touch. In this show, I sit down with a different Texas high school football coach each time and learn about them. Not their record, not their on-field accomplishments, but who they are and what they believe and what it means to be part of the greatest sport in the greatest state. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lone Star Gridiron Texas High School Football Coaches Show, Season 5, Episode 6. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and today we are going to Central Texas, and we're going to talk with Coach Jeff Dicus. He had a lot of success playing UIL football, but now he's coaching at St. Michael's Catholic Academy. I'll introduce you to him right after this. Hey, I want to give a big thank you to this season's title sponsor, Mecca Sportswear, where they are all about celebrating achievement. They're honored that so many high schools, colleges, and universities have chosen Mecca's products to represent their institutions. Mecca supplies you with the very best in custom letter jackets, chenille letters, patches, blankets, banners, pins, certificates, and much more to motivate and celebrate achievement in athletics, academics, or the arts. They create high-quality custom awards that will fit your budget. To see why so many great schools around Texas choose Mecca Sportswear, call Sherry Armstrong or Billy Armstrong at 210-651-6592. Mecca Sportswear, the premier suppliers of letter jackets and awards for over 40 years.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Power Plus Mouth Guard. What is that? Well, it's a mouth guard that helps you perform better and also increases your strength, your balance, your stamina, reduces the G-forces which are found in concussions. And the way it does that is it aligns your jaw properly. So this mouthpiece not only protects you, but it's going to help you breathe better. And that's really what it comes down to. It puts your airways in a better alignment, and so that helps you breathe better, that helps you have better balance, helps you have better stamina, the more oxygen getting to your brain, the more oxygen getting to your muscles, and that's where this mouth guard can help you. So you can check them out online. Just go to powerplusmouthguard.com. All you have to do is hit / and shop, and it'll show you all the mouthpieces they have. But check them out and check out the website. Dr. Michael Hutchinson is the one who has designed this new technology, and I really do think it is very forward-thinking in helping reduce concussions, in helping you be more alert late in the game when you're going to be tired, your muscles are tired, lack of oxygen is starting to affect you. This mouth guard will help you in getting more oxygen to you. So check them out, powerplusmouthguard.com.
All right, everybody join me in welcoming Coach Jeff Dicus from St. Michael's Academy to the show. How are you doing today, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Yet another day. We're excited to see what improvements we can make today.
I love it. So, in this show, we talk about you and your philosophy, your coaching, stops along the way. But before we get into that, I want to talk about when you first discovered the game, your first involvement with it as a fan, a player, what was it?
Well, that's a good question. I'd have to go back to my early middle school days when I started winning punt, pass, and kick contests.
Nice.
And I won it several years in a row, and back in Iowa. And I think that's pretty much where I got a taste of the football world.
Nice. And so did you play in junior high?
I did. Matter of fact, long story short, back in Iowa, my upbringing is I went to St. Michael's Catholic Academy in Iowa. This is the true story. and then I go to high school, and my high school mascot are the Crusaders. And
nice.
Look where I'm at right now.
Full circle, right?
Yeah, so it's really neat. It's really neat. I've been very blessed, and I'm just excited for the opportunities and the challenges that we've got ahead of us here.
Nice. And so, as a high school player, what position did you play?
I was tight end and punter.
Nice.
And so at Heelan Bishop Catholic High School in Iowa, there in Sioux City, Iowa, I was tight end throughout my high school career, punted throughout my high school career, and then I went on to the University of South Dakota on scholarship and was tight end and punter there.
Mm-hmm.
And then had, very, very fortunate to have a very good career there as an all-district tight end and punter. So I was blessed.
Nice. And so when did you discover, hey, I want to do this coaching thing?
Yeah, that's another good question. You got some good questions for me today. But it was my sophomore year in college. I actually went to college to go be a forest ranger.
Really?
Yeah, and I was going to go out in the mountains and be a forest ranger and live out in the mountains. And then come along my summer of my sophomore year, kind of got into some just helping with Little League football, Little League baseball, and then one thing just led to the next. And then I went the next year and changed my major and started to do everything in reference to being certified as a teacher coach. And one thing led to the next. And then I went back to do my student teaching at Bishop Heelan Catholic High School. And we ended up winning the state championship that year. So that's how I started my coaching career out. In 1982, we won the state championship in Iowa. And then from there, I went down to Mission with 7 other coaches from South Dakota and Nebraska corner there.
Nice. And so take me now stop by stop, every position you've held up to today.
Okay, so I 7 of us from the Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska corner. We all go down to Omaha, Nebraska, and interview with David Lee, who was at Omaha Millard North. And we all sat in there and interviewed, and he hired all of us, and we all go down, decide to go down one weekend, everybody together. Wives, we pack up. We coordinated this like you couldn't believe. And so we all go down to Mission, Texas, and you know where Mission, Texas is, right down there on the river down there, Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah. And
so that's where we start. That's where I started my coaching career, is down at Mission, Texas. And we were there from 83 to 89. In 1986, Tom Landry and several of his players from Dallas Cowboys came down to Mission, Texas, Mission High School, because that's where he's from. And we dedicated the stadium, named a boulevard after him. We just did all kinds of things for the whole week, and it was really, really special. And each one of us coaches dressed up and portrayed years in his life, and I was dressed up as a Dallas Cowboy coach with the fedora, his jacket, his tie, and everything. And that picture ended up making the Dallas Times newspaper back in 1986, and that picture is in my office. And it's the one picture that throughout my 39 years of coaching that I cherish so much, because I had an opportunity to sit in with Tom Landry, Coach Landry, in an office, just him and I, for about 25 minutes, and we just talked. And then after that, he spoke to our team in the locker room, and you talk about a memory. Oh, my goodness. It was really cool. So I was receiver coach, special teams coordinator at that time down there in Mission. Mm-hmm. And then David Lee ended up passing on with cancer, and Rusty Dowling took over. Rusty Dowling took over as the head football coach, and we ended up having great success. We set all kinds of national and state passing and receiving records. So we were there until 89, and 89 we'd go to San Antonio John Jay High School, which at the time we took it over, we really had some really unbelievable athletes. And we were able to do some really good things that first year. And I was the offensive coordinator, receiver coach at that time. And then from that first year, also one of my responsibilities was strength and conditioning of the off-season program, of our football program in the off-season during the summer. And so I was in charge of that at Mission, at John Jay. And I really thought that was the field that I was going to go and further my coaching career in the strength and conditioning field. And so I got hooked up with Bigger, Faster, Stronger, Dr. Greg Shepard. And he was the strength coach for the Utah Jazz at the time, and he ran this Bigger, Faster, Stronger company. And out in California, I attended a strength and conditioning clinic. Mm-hmm. And out there, we ran into each other and got to know each other. And he asked me, why don't you come out to Salt Lake City and run this upper limit training center? So I decided to go out to Salt Lake City after our first year down Jay. And we ended up running this upper limit training facility, which the Utah Jazz would come in and train. And then all the area high schools there in Salt Lake City would be bussed into our facility, and we would work them out. Mm-hmm. Well, I enjoyed it from the aspect that I understood, and throughout my career, I understand what the weight room and off-season can do for an athlete, whether you're very talented, marginal. That weight room and off-season program can do magical things to you. And so I just enjoyed it really, really a lot. And so I did some work when I was in Salt Lake City there at the University of Utah, down at BYU with the strength conditioning programs, and really gained a lot of knowledge and experience as far as what you can do to help athletes become better. Mm-hmm. And so in the meantime, Rusty Dowling goes from John Jay High School and takes over the Texas City program over by Galveston. Yep. And he calls me up and says, hey, you ready to get back to coaching football? And I said, yes, I am. I miss coaching football, is what I found out being out in the 7 months that I was out in Salt Lake City. I enjoyed everything about being out there. I loved it. But I just miss coaching football, coaching receivers, doing the strength conditioning for a football program and developing the program. So he talked me into it. Didn't take a lot to convince me to come be his offensive coordinator and assistant head football coach. And so him and I hooked up along with some really good coaches. We took the program over at Texas City in 1991. Uh-huh. And we ended up winning our first state championship in 97. And then I got out on my own and went to Bernie High School for 3 years as the head football coach there. We got that program turned around. And then I went back to Mission for 2 years as the head football coach and athletic coordinator. We had great success there. The second year, we were 11-2. Had a great receiver, Irvin Taylor, ended up going on to A&M. Mm-hmm. So then I go from Mission to Lake Travis. Right. And I interviewed with the athletic director, Jack Moss, and driving home from Lake Travis, I think it was a Tuesday afternoon, driving home, Jack Moss calls me back and says, hey, you ready to be a Cavalier? And I just about jumped through the phone line, and so we take over the program there at Lake Travis from 03 to 07. And we won the first state championship there in Lake Travis. And then I got out and went to Duncanville for 7 years up in Dallas. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I was going to retire, but got talked into being the offensive coordinator over at Eastview in Georgetown.
Right.
With a good friend of mine, Rob Davies, and was the offensive coordinator over there at Eastview for 2 years. That first year we kind of struggled offensively, and then the second year we ended up being the number one offense in the district with likes of Cedar Park and many of those schools, and so we were blessed. But after the second year at Eastview, then I just decided to step away because I needed to. One of the things that I needed to do was to figure out what to do with my folks who were down here at that time living in Georgetown as well. So they pretty much traveled everywhere I went. They pretty much traveled with me, and they were getting up there in the years, and they were missing back home in Iowa. And so I said, well, I told my wife, Karen, that I'm going to hang up my whistle. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I'm going to go address the situation with mom and dad and with their health and move them all back to Iowa. And so that's what we did. So I took 2 seasons off, and we moved my folks back up to Iowa, and they're just loving it, and they're in great health. Thank the good Lord for that. And in the meantime, my wife and I, for 2 seasons, we went watch high school games on Friday, then we'd go to a college game on Saturdays, and then we'd rest up and watch NFL on Sunday. So that was kind of our weekly schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And it was neat from a standpoint where I could go and sit in the stands and just kind of see coaches work and different programs, how they ran programs and stuff like that, and it was I kept my learning going, and it was a good 2 seasons off. But I miss kids. I miss working with parents. I miss helping programs. I just thought that there's more in me to go help programs. And so St. Michael's opened up, and they reached out to me, and we got connected here and came in and interviewed and came up and looked around and fell in love with it. It reminded me so much of my upbringing through St. Michael's and through Healing Bishop Catholic High School. And so here I am. We got 1 season under our belt. We're awfully excited about what we're going to be able to do next year. So it's been a blessed 39 years being down here in Texas, but you don't have, I've been very fortunate throughout my career to be around great people, great kids who have committed themselves to us, communities who have committed themselves to us. And you're just very thankful, very fortunate to be a part of what we've been able to accomplish. And me getting in with Lake Travis, just right time, right place. And God put me there for a reason. But the parents got in behind the vision that we were talking about, and one thing led to the next. And now look at them, and you just sit back with a lot of pride with what you were able to do to get that program to where it is today.
Nice. You mentioned relationships. Talk a little bit about some of the coaches. Rusty Dowling brings you back to coaching in Texas City.
Yep.
And talk about those relationships with coaches and what some of them taught you.
Well, there's a lot of things that they teach you. Rusty, who is now he is the athletic director, overall athletic director here in the state of Texas, and so just a great mentor. He allowed me to coach, and he wasn't one that looked over my shoulder, and he allowed me to learn the game. He was very knowledgeable. He helped me to who I am today. I don't put all the things that I do as a football coach toward him because I learned so much from him. But from an organizational standpoint, how to address kids, how to talk with kids, how to develop your program, because everywhere he's been so very successful, and so. But there's a lot of coaches that I've been associated with it. Everywhere we've been, that staff that we had at Texas City was very special. The camaraderie that we had, I could say the same with the staff that we had down at Mission over at Lake Travis. The staff that we had was really, really special. You know, we all worked together, and everybody was not. It wasn't about them. It was about how we can help each other, and everybody put their best foot forward. And so, I've been very blessed. You know, it takes a village of people to do and have success and climb a mountain and win a state championship. And I saw it firsthand over at Texas City. Well, I saw it firsthand back at Elon Bishop Catholic High School back in 1982 when I did my student teaching. You know, I thought, this is great, you know, but Phil Carpuck was the head football coach back then. You know, I learned a bunch from him. You know, and you learn so much from almost every coach that you witness, whether it be watching it on TV, whether you go and listen or read an article or listening to him on the radio. I'm always hungry to continue to learn. So I've been very blessed, very blessed.
Definitely. So talking about those state championships, you're in Iowa, you win one. Texas City, you win one. In Lake Travis, you win one. What is the secret sauce that makes it, or is it all just dumb luck? You were at the right place at the right time.
Well, I think it takes. I think there's several factors that you have to look at. You know, you got to have a vision, number one, from you as a head coach or you as a staff. You have to have that workability in the off season. You know, what do you do from December to August in the development of your program? I honestly believe that you win championships in that time period, you know, and whether it's through your agility, your speed workouts, your mental toughness program, your team developing programs. There's so many facets that go into developing those kids. And I just think that the group of kids and the staff that we had was just the right mixture. And I think our parents and community got in pretty much everywhere we have been, got in behind us and supported us with our vision. And that second week in Lake Travis, we got, give you an example, we got parents together and we went in and painted that whole inside field house, and we gave it a new look.
Nice.
And that was one of my thoughts was, let's change the atmosphere. Let's change the culture of where our kids are coming to, how we dressed, how we act, how we talk. And, you know, obviously one thing led to the next, but, you know, you have your bumps along the road that you got to get through, and you just got to stay as positive as possible. And you got to rely on other people to do the things that you want to do. You know, you don't do those things by yourself. And credit goes out to the kids. You know, you hear Coach Oregon over there at LSU, you talk about how he just got done saying it's all about the kids. The kids took it upon themselves to do things the right way, do the little things. They decided to go to class more. They decided to not go out in the evenings. They decided that this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to win championships, and lo and behold, look what transpired. You know, and so I'm a firm believer. Our motto here is win today, and it's all about becoming better than what we were yesterday, and how can we become better people. And I think we pretty much have taken that philosophy everywhere we have been, you know, and how much better can we get today? Let's go. Let's all get in here and let's go to work. So it's been a challenge. Every place we've been, it's been a challenge, but it's been a challenge that I accept, that we accept, and the coaches that are along with me are right alongside with that philosophy, you know, and like I said before, I've been very blessed, and I've got some great coaches here, and what we're going to be able to do here at St. Mike's, I think is really going to be pretty special.
Nice. And it's funny. I've talked to so many coaches who have maybe had more stops, but I don't think I've talked to somebody who had as varied of stops, you know, because you've got public-private, you've got down in the valley, you've got up in the big city. So what is the difference between like Valley football versus some of the other parts of the state?
Well, obviously I think that, kids want to be shown how to get to the top of the mountain.
Nice.
And whether it's at Mission with the Hispanic population that we had down there, Lake Travis, to the Duncanville kids, African American, it don't matter what color it is. It doesn't matter. They all want to win. They all want to be shown and be loved, and I just think that our coaching philosophy just really went well with those populations, and let's see, I would say that, there's not really been a big difference as far as kids wanting to get in and work for you, and obviously the talent levels at different places has been different, and that's probably the biggest difference is there's maybe more speed up in the Dallas area where I was at Duncanville, more athleticism, but from a program standpoint, the Duncanville 7 years was probably the best 7 years of my coaching career. Although we didn't win a lot of playoff games, we didn't win state championships.
Right.
But what we did win was we won kids' lives, I believe, and I think we changed and helped a lot of kids out more so than at any other program that I've been associated with. And so that 7 years that I had at Duncanville with the staff there and what we were able to do with kids and their lives and help them mature and understand what's right and what's wrong and that you got to attack each day to its fullest. That 7 years was a very special 7 years for my wife and I there in Duncanville.
I love that. And what about private versus public? What are the differences there?
Well, I think the biggest difference is, obviously we don't have a lot of numbers in kids. Staffing is a situation that is completely different than public school. In terms of staff-wise, you could have a part-time business person coaching defensive ends for you.
Right.
And you could have a accountant being a part-time coach for you. And because of his business, it may take him away from you on Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
And, obviously, that's a situation that we're trying to correct and get better at, where we can get coaches that are business people that can be here on a daily basis, that we have consistent coaching going on from a day-to-day standpoint. And I think that's the biggest difference is just the staffing of a private school staff compared to public school coaching. But outside of that, these kids here, I've told them several times that they have validated why I have come out of retirement. And they are such a joy to coach. I mean, it is really, really cool to work with these kids. These kids are so hungry, and I just foresee nothing but greatness coming out of this program here. And so it's a challenge because we have so many of our kids in multiple sports. 72% of our kids are in multiple sports here. And so like 16 of our kids are in basketball right now. We got like 7 kids in lacrosse. We got 6 kids in soccer. We've got about 12 to 15 kids on a daily basis working out with us, football off season. So come end of February, we'll get those basketball kids back, and for the most part, that will be a big number for us to get those kids back in and start putting the whole program together. But right now, we just have a core of about 12 to 15 kids that work out with us every day, and they are really doing some good things. And so I think our kids are going to reap the benefits of some good hard work that we're putting in.
Nice. And finally, Ranger Jeff, let's say somebody's listening to this who's in college trying to decide a major. What would you tell them that would convince them that coaching is a great career?
Well, I think this is the greatest profession that myself and other teachers and coaches are in, because we have an opportunity to impact kids' lives. Mm-hmm. And that's on a daily basis. And I don't think there's another profession on this earth that can say that consistently, day in and day out, that you have an opportunity to impact kids' lives. If coaches are out there and they want to work with kids, they love kids, and they want to see a kid go from a maybe below average talent to above average talent, there's not a greater feeling to see a program, to see a kid develop from his freshman year to his sophomore year to his junior to his senior year. And then the neat thing is he goes on to college and he comes back and says, "Hey, coach, thanks so much." And those words right there, the thanks so much, is so valuable to us coaches, to teachers, and it means the world to us when kids come back and thank us, and we can't thank them enough. But I think it's just a great profession to impact kids' lives, and if money is a situation, probably not the profession to be in, but it's all about the kid. It's all about families. It's all about helping mom and dad raise kids to their fullest, help them and direct them down the right path. You could go the easy path or the hard path. Which one are we going to do? And we're not going to take the easy road. We're going to take that hard road. We're going to figure out what we got to do today to become better than what we were yesterday, and we're going to go to work, and that's our whole philosophy. And if that's something that you as a coach and a teacher, man, there's nothing better. Good. I look so forward to it every morning to seeing them. They're on time. They're dressed correctly. They do the little things that we ask them to do, and we're awfully excited. So I just think it's just the greatest profession to impact kids' lives.
I love it. Coach Jeff Dicus, I want to thank you so much for sitting down and sharing some of your story.
You betcha. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me.
If you're looking for a quick and easy way to raise a bunch of money for your sports team, 99 Pledges is the best way for football teams and booster clubs to raise the most money with the least amount of effort. Donors can donate online. Each player gets their own donation page that they can share with their friends and family all over the country, like grandparents in Florida, by email, text, Facebook, or any of the social media outlets. By going online with 99 Pledges, it's easy to spread the word about your fundraiser, keep everyone involved and informed. Because of this, 99 Pledges has seen teams raise over $30,000. And teams like the Katy Tigers have exceeded their fundraising goal. That's the best part. Teams keep an average of 95% of what they raise. Players don't have to go door to door or track down donations. They can save all that energy for where it counts, on the gridiron. Check them out at 99pledges.com. They are an excellent organization. You're going to be so glad that your next fundraiser is through these guys. Hey, once again, I want to thank Coach Jeff Dicus for sitting down with me, telling some of his story. And I want to thank you folks for tuning in each and every week as I get to do probably my favorite thing in the world, talk to Texas high school football coaches and share their stories. Please do me a favor, go out and share these episodes with people. Put them on your Facebook. Put them on the groups where you think people will appreciate these great shows. Until next time, I'm Chris Daly, and we'll see you at the game.
Did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.